Hello, folks. My name is Michael Wink, and I'm a head of business development at JetBrains. And in my spare time, at least a year ago, I run half marathon with donkey and failed. Okay, here's a talk. I promised a lot of my friends and colleagues to deliver it on camera in addition to some of the sessions I did before. So here we go, how not to manage a donkey and what it teaches me about management. A year ago, together with my friends, I was running half marathon with a donkey or with a burro. Let's see how it all started and what the hell is happening and what it has to do with the management. So there is an alternative way to name this talk, thanks to a good friend of mine, Dmitry Trofim. It says, Running with a Donkey, Management and Team Collaboration for Tech Companies. Definitive guide. Not sure if it's definitive, I probably need a couple of more runs, but let's explore what has been happening and how did I manage to get out of this story. Okay, so a small disclaimer. Donkeys are amazing animals and very smart. And thanks to ChatGPT for this disclaimer, this presentation shares personal experiences and insights gained from working with a donkey and draws parallels to management practices. These stories and analogies are intended to be lighthearted and educational, highlighting lessons in leadership, communication, and adaptability. It is not my intention to imply that donkeys or any individuals involved are in any way inferior or to make generalizations about animal behavior or management practices. The purpose is to share unique insights and foster a positive discussion about management principles. With that, let's get started. So, running with a donkey in the mountains of Colorado. In German, there is a great word which is called the Schnapsidee. That is the idea which you come up when you're drinking schnapps, or my favorite kind of joyride beer from True Brewery, Munich Brewery. And is the Schnapsidee? Please think you got drunk and came up with? Not really. It's coming from the COVID and some of my friends looking at the half marathon from Kara and Nate with a donkey. And they did it a couple of years before we did it, and we watched that and it's like, damn it, let's do it. None of us though were running. None of us were running with a donkey, and we thought, okay, that's probably a good thing after COVID. Let's start running. So together with my friends, we decided to run half marathon with the donkey, and we called ourselves the Polar Burros.
Hi folks, we are Polar Burros, and we're three friends that absolutely hate running, and we're training for a half marathon in the mountains close to Leadville, Colorado. My name is Mikhail, and we'll be telling you more about the event and our training.
Hi, my name is Konstantin. I'm from Oslo, Norway, in the middle of Scandinavia, and I'm really thrilled to run such a fantastic trail with your support.
Well, and my name is Michael, and I'm from Munich, Germany. So we are going to be powered by amazing Bavarian beer. Cheers, folks. And we hope that you're going to be looking forward to all the updates, and please follow us on all the platforms over there and look for what we have to show you.
And we're definitely not eating a donkey salami.
No.
See you on the trail.
So we are running the Pack Burro Racing. Pack Burro what? What is that? I bet most of you watching that have never heard about Pack Burro Racing, and I never heard of it before I've seen the video. So Pack Burro Racing. The statement is we run with a burro. There is no riding in the sport. You cannot ride a burro. This is not just a foot race. Even the fastest racer can be humbled by their running partner, equus asinus, or a burro. The word burro comes from Spanish word meaning donkey. A donkey is defined as being an ass. And as you will see in the presentation later on, that was proven to me as a point very clearly. So where is it happening? That is happening in Colorado, the United States. So what we've been running is one of the parts of the Triple Crown, as it's called, that's close to Denver in Colorado, USA, Leadville, Fairplay, and Buena Vista. By the way, Fairplay is the South Park from the cartoons. So we decided to go with the Leadville. And, well, that is probably the only sport where I managed to participate in one of the parts of the World Championship right away without doing much. But hey, that is sport. I was there for the sport. So that is the Triple Crown, three of the burro racing, Pack Burro Racing events. Happens in the summer, in August, I think August, September or something like that. So the one we decided to join is Leadville Boom Days, just because that's the best time for us. And it happens in the city called Leadville. So the story is, well, at least the myth of how it happened is that over the years, there were a lot of donkeys who helped miners to get stuff on top of the mountains. It is a mountain range over there, and in order to get all the iron or any kind of minerals from there, you need a donkey or a burro to bring stuff with you. But then the machinery came, all the cars, all the things, and burros or donkeys were not that needed anymore. So there is a there is a legend. A couple of miners were drinking in the bar or in a saloon one day, and they're like, "I can run my burro up that hill faster than you can." And another one disagreed, and they run the burros. And since then, there was a burro racing competition. I don't know if it's true or not, but kind of can be. So we signed up for the Leadville Boom Days. And that is either half marathon or full marathon. We decided half marathon, which is like 20 kilometers. It's through the mountains, roughly half a kilometer gain or even more, and that is in the mountains of roughly 4,000 meters. So it's like quite a lot of gain of altitude, quite a lot of distance, and that is a very nice track. So the long course is the full marathon, and that is with a burro. You run along the burro. You don't ride the burro. You can carry the burro. You cannot ride the burro. So you're on the leash with the burro. So there are a lot of rules of the Pack Burro Racing. Each burro is required to be equipped with a regulation pack saddle, pick, shovel, and gold pan. That is for the history. The runner may lead, drive, push, pull, or carry the burro. And yes, you can carry the burro. There are small miniature burros, which is like 50 kilograms, something like that. Our burros were 100-something, big folks, 150 kilograms, I think. So you cannot really carry. And the burro has to be led by the halter, to which is attached a rope, not to exceed 15 feet in length, so it's not very long. Runners are responsible for securing their burro or renting them. There are very strict animal protection rules, and any burro leaving the course must be returned to the course at the exact location or priority where the burro left the course. The winning combination consists of a human and the burro. You have to finish together, and it's counted by the nose of the burro crossing the finish line. So, where do we start? Sounds amazing, right? Okay, so we start from renting our burros. In March, Konstantin, a friend of mine, rented burros, 3 donkeys, from Nest Acres LC, that is in Rifle, Colorado. Special place, special farm where you can rent a burro. Can you think of the price of a burro? So rental for a single day? Think about it. Rental of a donkey for a full day, $150. To be honest, seems like it's not the best business because it is kind of expensive. They train, these are special trained burros, and they train for an entire year for those events. So it doesn't look like a very huge amount for that. So we got matched with 3 donkeys based on the pace: Huckleberry, Luke, and Dixie. These are 3 donkeys who were assigned to us at the very beginning. That was March. In March, we basically submitted our pace and agreed that we are going to be renting the burros. And we started training early on so that we are, of course, ready for the half marathon because it's kind of demanding. And then it's time to register for the race because we got the donkeys. Okay, that is time to register for the race. We waited a bit more. And then in May 2023, we managed to get the registration for the August 6th. And by the way, that was not very expensive. It was like $70, which is amazing. I mean, we signed up for a short course. Long course would be probably too much. But $60, $70 is just not that much for such a race, such an amazing race. And this is not a very international event, I have to tell you. So I've checked. And over the course of the previous years, I think 5 years, or no, maybe even more, I checked whether there are any international names, international locations. I couldn't find any. It's all US, it's all Colorado, Texas, or some of the places close to Colorado. And In many cases, they have their own burros, their own donkeys. So that's how the registration looked like after we registered, because it just opened up. We were the first 3 folks to register: Norway, Germany, and Germany. Hello, friends. And there are 3 of us. And then we waited and waited and waited. And only after quite some time, there were people started picking up the pace on registrations. So here we go. By the time the race started, there were close to 100 participants, most of them online, and they ranged like all the way from the kids to the relatively, I think, 80, 85 years old folks. That is amazing. Like the range of the ages, and everyone was running there. It's just such an amazing experience. So it is time to run, because I need to prepare. It is roughly a year, a bit more than a year to prepare. And I was preparing to run this half marathon because I was not running before, well, more than 10 kilometers, never. So I prepared in Munich. I prepared in Bulgaria when I was running in the mountains. I was preparing, I think it's again in Germany, in Cologne. And I've been running with my friends, and that was amazing. I'm not alone, so I got a couple of friends, that Konstantin and Michael. Konstantin from Norway, Michael is from Germany, and we've been going through all of that together. We also did the social media coverage so that it motivates us, and that was a great experience. I'm not alone at this. We struggled through that together, and that was a very special moment and very special help I got. So folks, thanks a lot for all of your support. We posted a lot of things: running, eating, running, drinking, all of that stuff. And that was an amazing experience just for that, even not for the following race, but just for that, that was a great experience. And from now on, I'm going to be marking the management insights with this Grumpy Hector. So the management insights are relatively basic, but I didn't even realize that this experience is going to teach me that much about teamwork, about management, and about team collaboration. That has been amazing, even though some of the insights are relatively basic. But I'll try to share my experience with you. So look for the Grumpy Hector to highlight the insights on management skill. So the first insight is that having a team pushes you forward. That was a team and a public commitment as well. And we managed to go through that. We trained for more than a year. That was very tiring. I was starting to run from the scratch. The same for my friends. We didn't like running, to be honest. It is very tiring exercise. But we were all in that together, and having a team pushed us all forward. A note on the gear. So during that time, of course, getting ready to the half marathon in the mountains of Colorado with oxygen deprivation, all of those things, we got our advisors. So, for example, in Germany, we had a nutritionologist, nutrition specialist, and the gear specialist who helped us to plan all of the things we need for this run. Because the problem is you might get stuck on the mountain as well. So you need to run with a donkey, with a burro, but you also might get stuck because the burro doesn't want to run. And that was known to us, so we were very well prepared. And it helped after all, but you really need to listen to the experts, and that's the next insight. You need to talk to experts, listen to experts. Don't underestimate their knowledge. You cannot get on the internet what they know. You need to listen to the experts. And then we are on the plane to the USA. Germany, Norway, beating Colorado. We are there. And that is our first training in Colorado.
That is our first run at the 3 kilometer elevation. We just got 1,500 altitude gain yesterday. Mihail's watches show that he is 9% ready for his elevation to actually run, but it never stopped Polar Burros. Just look at that. Look at the determination. Look at my 160 heartbeat, even though we are running like at the 7 minutes 20 pace. Downhill. Just why are we doing that, guys?
I have no explanation right now, but there's breakfast. I heard there is breakfast today.
The breakfast is
Distance 1,5 Kilometer.
So Colorado is very high up. So Leadville is roughly 3,000 meters, not 4,000, but 3,000. And we are running here at like 2,800, something like that. It's like very high, and Munich is 500 meters, so its altitude gain is 2,500 meters. For Norway, it's even more, it's 3,000. And we started running, and we understood that it's actually quite tricky. So prepare for the right thing, running and altitude. We've been doing that, running, we prepared. Altitude, we came like 5 days before, and that is helpful, very helpful. But that was not enough. So at some point, the Garmin watch of my friends was showing that we are like 70% ready, close to that, not 100%, just because the altitude adjustment and the jet lag and all of those things, it just kills you. But nevertheless, we thought about it. We've been preparing for running for an entire year, altitude training, all of those things. But let's get closer to the start. Meet Addy. Addy is my pal. That is the donkey I rented, and the burro I spent quite some time with. Addy is adorable. And that is the day before the event where it all started. So we've gone to the city, it's Leadville, and there was a parade. We arrived at the parade and we spent some time there with the local folks, and that's an amazing experience. It's like the entire city celebrates that. That's the Pack Burro Days, that is basically the event celebrating the old history of this town and the mountains around, and everyone is around. A lot of people are coming, a lot of people are celebrating. Amazing story, a lot of burros, and basically preparing for the run next day. But that was the moment when we realized that a lot of things happening there, it's very local. Because when we talked to our supplier of the burros, they were like, yeah, let's meet next to the museum. And we're like, oh, museum, okay, where exactly is that? So everyone knows it. Or like, let's go to this place. Like, where is that? We are not from here, we are from Europe, which was really surprising to a lot of folks. But yes, we are from Europe, coming all the way to Leadville, Colorado to run with burros. But okay, we managed to find our group, we managed to find our burros that works, and we made it to the parade. After the parade, we had some time to spend with our burros because we need to get the bonding exercise first. And we got 3 of our burros and we did a trial run with them. So just probably a mile or something, just to figure out how to control a burro, how to work with them, what is happening, how to unstuck them if they get stuck, and all things like that. So we've gone for a run.
So that is our training run on the burro race. Just look at that. Finally some training with the burros. And who of them is gonna win, we are gonna see tomorrow. That is my Addy.
So something we knew there, and our suppliers knew, is that onboarding matters. There was time for onboarding. We spent maybe 1.5 hours, 2 hours with our burros. We onboarded, we run together, we tried it out, we checked how it works. Awesome. It's like, it's gonna be awesome run. We all pumped up, we feel great. Our burros are amazing. They're very different personalities, but they're amazing. Onboarding matters. We knew that, we onboarded. Or we thought so. We thought that we are onboarded, but not enough. Not exactly enough, sorry, as I later learned. So, communication, choosing the burros, and pace. We figured out early on that we are going to be choosing the burros by pace. So you basically say how much time you need to run in those circumstances for that kind of trial run or trail run. And then they pair you with a specific burro. So if you're fast, you get a fast burro. If you're slow like me, then you get a slow burro. So they meshed us with the burros at a very early stage back in March. But by the time of the race, the burros were replaced with different burros, which is totally fine. But it's also actually interesting that we didn't have much communication with the suppliers of our donkeys, and they had some other events, so they couldn't answer us timely when we've been pinging them like, hey, we are on the way to Leadville, what is happening here and there. This is like a kind of chaotic communication because they didn't have time, we didn't ask in advance, and we didn't really communicate to them in the meantime. But yeah, they confirmed we have burros, it's all good, no issues, very good. Communication matters. We should have talked to them before. We should have talked to them more. We should have talked to folks about the experience of what is going to evade us. So you need to build a relationship with your supplier, and then you are probably going to be more successful than what you can be without that, because otherwise that's additional stress, and that might be not the ideal result. Because we didn't know that the burros are going to be exchanged. At some point we thought that might be like a scam. Somebody rented us out the burros worth of $450, and they're not replying to us. But no, Alexis were with their team, they were amazing, and they got us amazing burros. But there were some thoughts at some point. And then there is a day, the race day, and that is going to be some of the biggest disappointments I honestly had in years. You will understand why. When we've been driving the previous day and the day of the race, we started listening to the podcasts and some of the news about the burro racing and all those things. And there were some things people were saying, like there was an ultramarathon runner saying that running with a burro is the most insane thing they ever did in their life. I'm like, ultramarathons, like he's running 100 miles, but running half a marathon or marathon with the burro is much worth it for him. Like, how come? And then I learned that there are a lot of things you should have learned before. There are books on donkey or burro psychology. There are podcasts sharing how difficult it is to manage the burro and manage the relationship, and how it is difficult to go ahead and run with the burro if that's not your burro, because the best burro is the one you, kind of sleep in the house next to you, like that's the burro from your ranch, from your farm. So we should have done a bit more of research on the burro psychology. That is, I understood something might be interesting here. But never mind, we are there. We need to proceed. We've been preparing for the Pack Burro high altitude racing. High altitude, we are ready. Racing, we are ready. We can run half marathon. We prepared on the programs. No issues. We have gels, we have nutrition, we have everything, tracking, cameras, social media team, whatever. But we should have been actually preparing for the Pack Burro. We have not been preparing for the Pack Burro. We thought we are going to be there. We are going to figure it out. We're going to go to Leadville. Well, it's a burro. Like, what can be difficult, right? You get a burro, you run with a burro on the leash. Well, that was probably my biggest mistake there. Next time I really need to do the research. And I just made a huge mistake. I should have read the books. I should have read the articles. I should have read all of the information on the internet. I should have listened to all the podcasts before I'm in Leadville. But there is no way back. So we should have been preparing for the right thing, which is donkey. Okay, next time I will know. I should have been preparing for the donkey. Okay, let's go. There is no way back. Donkey is rented, the race is starting. That is a race day. A race day is amazing. We arrive early, we get our donkeys, we get equipped, we get all the stuff, and we are at the start line. It is amazing. A lot of great people watching us, taking pictures, a lot of great runners with their own donkeys or with rented donkeys. And there are some really old folks, like this guy is a legend. There are a lot of amazing people running. Such a great event. And that is me. My donkey decided to more or less get stuck at the starting line. So I started pulling Addie towards the start, and she was like, I don't have it. I'm just gonna hang out here. So first time I got stuck at the start. All the donkeys run away. I'm there with Addie. Okay, never mind. We are gonna somehow motivate her. So I motivate her. We managed to go. Okay, then we are stuck again. Motivate, go. And I'm really tired. It's like just 2 kilometers in the race. I'm like already tired because I need to constantly motivate the donkey. Okay, so we are started with like 1.5 kilometers, and Eddie doesn't feel like running at all. So we shall see about that, but we're one of the last ones, and she just doesn't want to go at all. I understand it's uphill, but oh my gosh, that's tough. That's so much about negotiations and so little about physical fitness. Oh my gosh. And that is more or less the end of my race. Like, we managed to go a few kilometers, and then Eddie said, I'm not having it. I don't want to run with you, mate. Like, you look alright, but I'm just gonna stay here. And we gone to the start of the gravel road, and he's like, nah, I can go to any direction but the one you need me to go. And then there are different ways to motivate them, but eventually I got stuck, so we walked a bit, as you can see. We walked, and I walked with another participant whose donkey was also struggling to go, and the participant was the participant is a ultramarathon runner. She's amazing. She runs like a goddess, I would say, but with a donkey, that's a bit different story. So what I learned here is you are a team. You can't finish it alone, even if you're awesome. I knew I can run half marathon, trail run. I trained for that. But I'm a team with my donkey. If I run trail without a donkey, I'm not going to finish. We are a team, and we have to go together. And your team might not feel like that. Your teammate might think, nah, screw you. I don't want to run. And then you're screwed as well. So that is how it can work on the teams as well. Not only with a donkey, but on your team at work or anywhere. Like, as a leader, you might want to think, okay, I can go there. But if your team doesn't want that, well, you did the bad job as a leader because you failed to motivate the team. You are not there. You are not at the finish. You might go there alone, but it's not going to be that good, and you're not going to achieve what you wanted to achieve. So your team might not feel like it. And you might be completely stuck. That is interesting because I was a manager and leader for many years. I led quite a lot of teams at my work. I led my own companies before JetBrains, but I'm rarely stuck. I can have some troubles. I can have some reservations about the projects. I can have some issues with the numbers or data or the team or anything. But there are ways to get unstuck. I'm rarely stuck at work, to be honest. Like, there are times, but you can figure it out. You can ask people for help. They're going to help you out. You're going to move forward. With a donkey, I got completely stuck. And I learned later on, you can be stuck in different places with a donkey. You can get stuck at the finish. That is my friend Michael. Kind of stuck next to the finish line. And that's a very popular place to be stuck after half a marathon or marathon because donkeys get scared. That is another person stuck also close to the finish. Might be minutes or tens of minutes to actually get them unstuck. And that is how I got stuck. I got stuck just after a few kilometers. Addy said, I'm not having it, and said we need to go back to the city. Okay. So then, what are the tools to motivate the donkey? There are tools. Similar to how at work you can motivate the team. And to be honest, motivating the team is still a bit easier for me, at least short term, because you can figure something out. You can go with monetary or non-monetary benefits. You can go with long-term development plan and so on. With the donkey, that was interesting. So one thing you can do, well, you can slap them on the butt. That you can do, just carefully, of course. You can try to push them, but they might also try to kick you. And that is very painful. Addy tried to kick me many times. You can try to talk to them very gently. You can try to motivate them to go with you. You can try to shout at them, just be kind of angry and tell them, go, 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 go. You can do different kind of noises. You can do a lot of things to motivate the donkey. Then you can kind of spin the tail. That helps as well. And then if nothing happens, if that happens that they're stuck at a single place, that happened to me here in this picture, you can just make them go around. They go around, they lose the orientation, and they should go to the place you want to be. Well, I tried all of that. I failed all of that. And also, one of the things is that burros and most people are pack animals. So when my burro actually didn't have a pack, so they didn't have any more other burros around them, She was like, that's all right. They're all in the front. I'm not going to run with you. You're not my pack. Like, my pack is in the front. Screw you. I don't want to do that. And it's actually the way how I managed to help another participant to get their burro unstuck. I got back and then turned around and we went together. We went maybe like 300 meters. Then we got stuck again. So it didn't really help. But burros and most people are pack animals. They want to be together with their pack, with people, with other burros, anything like that. And that helps. That's why the team building and teams matter that much. And then sometimes you might need help. And it's totally okay. So I was asking help from people around me. So another participant couldn't help me. Fine. I asked people drinking some bourbon on the porch. And it is like 10 a.m. And they were like, do you want a bourbon? I'm like, no, I don't know. It's too early. I still was thinking I'm going to run half marathon today. Like, no bourbon. But do you know how to get them unstuck? They're like, try this and that. So we tried all the tools. I tried all the tools because they cannot help me. Okay, it doesn't help. Feeding my burro wouldn't help because if you feed them in the very beginning, they just don't want to run afterwards. That is only the tool you can use at the finish. Okay, didn't help out. Then there was a car approaching and they were like, hey, do you want me to honk so that your burro moves? And they honked for 5 minutes. Didn't help. My burro was still stuck. They didn't move anywhere. I asked for help. There is a limited help I can get because I cannot get my burro to anyone else to help. No, that would be off the rules. So they were like remotely trying to help me. Well, it's okay to ask for help. I asked for help, didn't help. Peers might not be helpful sometimes. That was my case. They were amazing peers, thanks to them. They were not helpful. Okay. Eventually, I failed. We made 5.6 kilometers, and you can see that we are actually going in rounds. That's because my burro wanted to go to any directions, just not in my directions. And I totally failed the management of the burro. I totally take this blame on myself. That is not the burro, that's me. We failed as a team. I was a leader of the team. We failed together with the burro. She didn't want to go. She just didn't have it. That is our Strava capture. 1 hour. It was like 1 hour, almost 6 kilometers, going in circles, trying to get her unstuck. Tools you have can be not enough. I had tools which were given to me a day before by the manager of the burro rental. These tools always work for her because she's professional. She knows how to use them properly. She knows some other tools she maybe didn't think of to tell me. She has the relationship with the burro. I didn't have all of that. I got some tools. I got some junior burro manager training. I failed all of the tools, and I couldn't ask anyone for help. There was no one to give me some other tools. So the tools you have can be not enough, and you need more tools, and you need to get the knowledge that tools exist. I didn't have this opportunity. And then, if peers are not helpful, escalate. That's what we can do in office, right? I'm stuck. What I can do? Oh, I can do to go to my manager or to some peers in the management. Like, folks, I have this story. I have this case. Can you help me out? And they're like, yes, let's go through that. We can do the mastermind. We can do other things. But you're in the field with a burro. Where exactly do you escalate? There is no one to escalate. The burro manager is somewhere in the mountains also running the full marathon. She's amazing. I'm on my own with a burro. And that is actually scary because I realized I have no idea how to work with them and I couldn't make them move towards the place I need to go. That is me and my burro. We got back to the camp. I got back to the city. I found a nice guy, one of the organizers. He's like, "What the hell? What the hell are you doing here?" And a lot of people were asking, like, "Are you done already?" And I was like, "Nah, my burro doesn't have it." And they're like, "Nah." It's like you should be sleeping in the house next to the farm where your burro is. You need to have experience to manage. And like, you're crazy to do it with a rented burro. I'm like, I should have thought of that. Okay. So I'm back to the camp with my burro, and I'm feeling as low as I have not been feeling in many years. And as I'm talking about it, it's like it's tough. I got back. I failed. I got back as like bad donkey, but it's like, in reality, that is not the donkey. That's me. I failed. Yes, we failed as a team, but I failed as a leader. The donkey was amazing. She wanted to run with somebody else, maybe. Maybe she didn't have it. Maybe something else. Who knows? I didn't know the psychology to move her. And that is fine. And I realized that if I would have spent more time bonding with her, maybe a few more days, maybe running alone, not in a pack, maybe learning some tools, tricks that would help me. Bonding is underrated. A lot of people telling you like, yeah, efficient work, productive work, you don't need to bond with people. I call it bullshit. You need to bond with people. You need to get the team together. You need to get people to be aligned. You need to get them to be more friends and understanding, or not necessarily friends, yeah, that's true, but to understand each other, to understand the psychology differences and how to work with each other. And that is something which was missing in my relationship with Addie. At the same time, as a leader, it doesn't always depend on you. I failed, I realized it, but it doesn't really depend on me. I tried hard. I was preparing for the wrong thing. I didn't prepare for that donkey experience. I prepared to run in the high altitude. Yeah, it doesn't always depend on you. Sometimes it depends on circumstances. That is sad, but that happens. And it happened to me. It just doesn't normally happen to me in my life because I'm relatively successful, I would say, in my career, in my work activities, in things I do, that I don't have this kick in your ass, like, oh my gosh, no, you totally failed. No, I fail sometimes, but it's minor. It's not like drop to the lowest I've been in years. So I got my donkey back to the camp. I got her parked with the help of the organizer. And then I was thinking, wandering around, I was like, okay, 1 hour. What happened? Later on, when I was reflecting on that, I of course thought, okay, it's okay to fail sometimes. It's bad if you fail all the time. It's totally okay to fail sometimes. It teaches you a lot of things. But I was so down. It hurted so much. It hurts. It just hurts that you're trained for it for an entire year and then you failed. I failed miserably. I loved Eddie. I loved the experience. I loved what we did, but it was just so devastating. That was crazy, to be honest. Like that, I haven't experienced that in many years, because something I trained for an entire year, it was just gone. It's done. There is no way to redo it. There is no way to go back on track to run that, and that was difficult. But then I thought about it as just participation was already a win. That was an amazing experience. I trained. I improved my physical shape. I did a lot of things. I run freaking half marathon. I tried to run. Okay, not run, but I participated in a run, in a half marathon run with a burro. That is like not that many people in the world who ever did it. Maybe 1,000 people overall. There's like not that many. That is amazing already. Participation was already a win, and I truly value the experience right now. But at the day of the race and the next day when I was just going through that, reflecting, oh my gosh, such a miserable experience. But one thing which was good is that we agreed with my friends that whoever makes it first to the camp goes to the brewery. Oh, okay, we thought that we are going to all finish. Whoever is first going to go and wait for others in the brewery. Yeah, I was there in 11 a.m., I think, after 1 hour. 1 hour running and then a bit of wandering around. I went to the bar to get a beer, because what else? And I was drinking, thinking, reflecting. That was difficult. I still love the experience, but that was a very difficult time. And then I managed to go through that, managed to think about it and recover. And it taught me a lot of things. So overall, 10% of folks didn't finish the race, 10%, including me. I was, I think, the second who dropped out. But 10%, so 10 people out of 100 couldn't finish. The longest time on the trail was 11 hours because somebody got stuck at the top of the mountain. My friends Konstantin and Mikhail, they finished. They're amazing guys. They struggled, but they finished. And that's me and Eddie. We didn't finish. We had a good time. I was angry at first, but then I appreciated all the experience we've gone through together. And Eddie is still adorable. But burro racing is no more for me. A lot of people were asking me, like, do you want to do it again? I'm like, nah, I don't want it. That was difficult. That was interesting. That was amazing. But I'm not sure I want to go through that again. That is gone for me. Maybe I'm going to change my mind at some point. But at this point, I'm doing different things. That was a great experience. And then I realized that not finishing the race definitely taught me more things than finishing would have taught me. I learned this, like going down and back up. I learned that management insights, which you see here in the team management, so it's like a lot of things I'm talking about, they can be extrapolated from the managing the burro to managing the team, managing the employees, managing the projects. A lot of those things, they actually were amazing insights, and I had time to think about them. At the same time, I'm 1 out of 3 non-United States participants in many years to join this race. And even more significantly, I'm the only one non-US participant in many years to join and fail. That makes me kind of special, I guess. I mean, that's also the way how you look at that, right? I try to look at it positively. Yes, I failed. Yes, that happens. I learned a lot. I truly learned a lot. And I try to tell you some of that in this presentation, which I hope you enjoy. And it helped me bond a lot with my team, with Konstantin, Mikhail. We had a great time. We would not travel for 2 weeks in the US, in the Colorado, with the oxygen deprivation and all of those things. We would not do that in the mountains of Colorado. We would not have run there without the burro, and that was a great experience. So with that, the story is to be continued. To many other management insights, to many other runs, races, with a burro or without a burro. That was an amazing experience, and I'm very happy that I managed to go through that, and I'm happy that you managed to look at what is happening here. Thanks a lot, and that was me helping with how not to manage a donkey and what it teaches me about management. Take care, folks.